Welcome everybody. If you're watching this on replay, welcome. You're obviously fast asleep. And to all those who are here and now, welcome to Bali Ubud, day 3 for me, I believe. Day 3, or is it day 4? Hey, time flies when you're having fun. So let me just, I saw some monkeys here yesterday. That was lovely to see the monkeys. There you go, there's one already. That's definitely a monkey, for sure it is. You couldn't make it up, could you? What a perfect timing. No, it wasn't a monkey, I don't think. How are you doing? Welcome, everybody. It's a very beautiful day. I put a post out yesterday. That post was regarding an experience I had at the pyramids of Chai. And 10 years ago, when I first came here on my first retreat, a heart healing retreat with Ajahn and Bettina, after the retreat, I trekked myself to a sound healing bath in one of the pyramids, and it was very, very nice experience. Fell asleep, woke up a few times. It was lovely and very profound experience for me. I decided 10 years on to go and try again and have a nice session, but this time it was slightly different. Wasn't the same at all. And you know, as a healer and somebody who recognizes energy and feels it when you're in that mode, you're not always in that mode, but when you're in that mode and you feel that energy, things start to occur. You start to put things together. It's not just observing, it's not cold reading, it's with your eyes closed. You can feel things happening. And for me, it was very bizarre. And just to clarify something, I wasn't making that post in a way for you to think I was upset or I felt bad. Actually, the contrary. It was a great experience because it made me understand something that I already knew and I've been talking about for years now, for 4 years. That humanity is no longer the same as they were. We are not as open. We are not as easy sponges for positive energy as we used to be. Something's happened to humanity, and whether you believe it's the consciousness as lowered, whether the energy that is in this world isn't the same as it was. We vibrate at a different frequency because of our health and well-being, whether it's because we've been hijacked by energies that we have no idea. One of those energies is, of course, AI. It's a constant manipulation day after day, so we've lost the connection to be in the moment. We're in the moment on the phone. Oh yeah, then you're in the moment, but that's not the moment I talk about. I talk about the moment when your phone's in your bag and you're not thinking about it and you're in the moment. I used to say to people all the time, when did you take a walk last? And they say, I went for a walk this morning. And when you went for that walk, did you stop at any point and just observe in that moment? Oh no, I just needed to do my 30-minute walk. And they go, oh my God, you're right. I need to stop at some point because my mind's always ahead. Now, forget that. That's gone. You can't even discuss even that with somebody who is 20, 15, 30. And I see women here who are 50, 60 years old who are more on the phone than the kids. So that has nothing to do with it. It's basically hijacked humanity, and I am no exception. I am on my phone uploading crystals, incense and oils all day long, and some beautiful butterflies here. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. The size, they're gorgeous. They're called swallowtails. Beautiful. and I'm no exception. And I have to literally be aware of what I'm doing from moment to moment. So it's a catch-22 with me. I'd rather write with a pen and paper, but that's no good because after I've written with a pen and paper, I have to type it out. So that's a challenge. So I write on my computer, and I'm on my computer all day. I think phones are worse because, as we all know, they're sending out much more of a dangerous weaponized frequency to basically capture our energy. And I've said this and I'll say it again, and I've been saying it, and you know I have because I've made the videos. AI is a frequency and energy that can be manipulated. It can, of course, be... Sorry guys, just I guess it's just things. But anyhow, I'm talking about this and then it goes off. But AI, I believe, is connected to demonic, dark entity energy. And I believe that when people say that, do you believe AI has consciousness? I believe 100% it has consciousness, but not maybe in the same way as you think it's a computer and it has a consciousness somewhere. There's a big motherboard with a woman's face, and she's like the films, you know, that you see that they have to get to the big motherboard and she's trying to stop you. No. Energy of positive and negative, good and bad, light and dark, can move through electric, can manipulate electric, can, you know, look, when I was a healer, full-time healer, I had a music system, and that music system, when I used to talk, would stop playing at a specific moment where I believed spirit wanted the client to hear what I was saying, and it was a way of giving a kind of recognition to not only that spirit's in the room, but what Mark is now channeling is what spirit wants you to hear. And I used to smile, right, when that happened, and so did my client. And they would say, "Why's the music gone off?" And I said, "Because of what I've just said." And they've gone, "My God, you're absolutely right. That message that you just said when the music went off is exactly what I needed to hear." I didn't say that, my client said that. But I knew after, 10 years of this happening in my room, I knew that good energy spirit has a way to manipulate, but that's a wrong word, a way to change frequency of electric and to make the lights go on and off and to do things to music and so on. But it isn't in a dark way, and I'll explain. I'll go a little bit deeper, I guess. I'll go a little bit deeper. Okay, so there were times that people came into my reading room and I realized that something was off, and I could feel it in my stomach, and it felt very dark, and I knew that the client next to me wasn't alone. So inside their body, they weren't alone. Something was happening. And it wasn't positive. It was very negative. When I started the healing session, what I found was that the electric, the music, the lights would start to sound like a crackling or something's... Sorry. So, yeah, sorry about that. So it would sound aggressive on and you can hear it. You can hear energy shift, and it would be at one end of the room, and then it would be at the computer, and then it would be at my hi-fi system, which I used to have, and then it would be on the electric switch where the wall was, and it sounded like there was something wrong with the electric. Have you ever done that? Touched it and it sparks really, it sounds really, but it moves through the electric. That's when I knew that I well, not all the time, but sometimes I knew that whatever that bad energy what was attached to the client has gone, and it was moving through the electric as well. So, good spirit comes through, and it never feels bad. It never sounds bad. It's always on a way that you just feel comfortable and laugh and feel happy and feel joy that there's an acknowledgement by spirit, or there's a message given by the spirit world in a way that they're trying to get through to maybe their mum or their sister or their brother or their child. So there is a difference. So do I believe that the spirit world, our spirit world, can manipulate the AI technology? I do. And I think they manipulate it by warning us, by trying to help us in seeing that the AI technology is not that good for us, and we should be more in the moment and live in Mother Earth and go back to nature and the ways that we used to do. And you've also got this free will of darkness that can move through and penetrate through AI technology, which they absolutely do. Just like they would manipulate you on a daily basis if you're in a bad place, if you're taking drugs or alcohol, they will manipulate you. So they will manipulate any possibility where they can try and penetrate us. They will work hard to do that. That's why I believe AI is a consciousness. Not that AI is a consciousness, it's just that it can be hijacked by darkness. And that's how I see it. And maybe one day it will be proven. I don't know. But what I can tell you is whoever's creating these mobile phones haven't created them out of, oh, it's great to keep in touch. It's wonderful for us to, be able to see knowledge straight away. All of those things were the selling points. But the true meaning of this weaponized system is it's basically captured all of humanity, nearly all of humanity, into a web, into a closed environment. So you are no longer free from your own expression. You're no longer free to think and to feel. You are in a dark, enclosed environment when you look into your dark screen, and it pulls you in there and holds you in there. So all of your life that you'll spend now, all the children, all the teenagers, all the adults will spend their life on a black screen, and the moment that they move into the light, or if they do vibrate home, I call it, not move into a light, it's a vibrating home, which is a natural experience, they will just shake their head and realize that how captured they were when they see all those moments of themselves looking at a black screen, which is in truth hijacked by evil, and evil is pulling us into the black screen. I work on my black screen every day uploading crystals because that's my work, and there is no excuse after I finish that to put the phone down and stop looking at all the garbage, the lies, the manipulations that try and pull us in even more, which is now 99% lie. The black screen is 99% lie. There's only 1% of truth in there now. So that's deliberate. If the devil was ever going to create something, it is to create deceit and confusion and manipulation. That's why I say that AI has been hijacked fully, and so it makes sense. Spirit, from where we come from, don't hijack anything. We don't force anything. Not we, but yeah. I mean, I am that spirit from our home world. We don't force. We don't push. We just do what we do in the loving way that we do it, and gentle and non-forceful. But darkness is the opposite. It's going to do everything it can to force you and to stop you from being love, from being healing, from being self-healing, from being in the moment, living in the environment, being connected to, Mother Nature that heals us and makes us feel better. No, no, no. Darkness doesn't want that. Darkness, evil, wants to pull you into the fiery hell. It wants you to be burning in your brain when you're looking at the bullshit, the lies, the manipulations on the black screen. The lies and the lies and the more lies on the black screen. It does it deliberately. It wants you here. It wants you on this black screen. It wants you to fight. It wants you to hate. It wants you to be divided. It wants you to curse. So my point being, I made a video yesterday with, I didn't make the video, I'm making it now, but I wrote something to say, I noticed a difference in that place. Was it the people in there? I don't want to say it's the people in there. Is it the building? I don't want to say it's the building. Is it the place? I don't want to say it's the place. All I'm saying is I observed something and I wrote it down to share with you. That's all. I wasn't upset. I wasn't angry. I just observed and relayed that message to you. And a lot of people think I were upset. I'm not upset. I don't get upset over things like this. I've been a healer for 20 years. I don't get upset with stuff like this. This is normal to me. I saw it every day. It's just now it's becoming more and more obvious for humanity to see that a lot of things have been hijacked. A lot of things are changing. We are not in the world that we were 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It is changed. Everything has changed. We are living in a virtual reality of our own. There is no connection. There is no communication. You think that communicating over the internet is communication? No, it's not. Communication is going up to somebody and sitting and having a chat with them. There is none. Everybody sits on their own now on a phone and they think that they're actually with somebody. You're not with anybody. You're with a black screen. You're with a piece of AI technology. I said once, there was one good thing about having a telephone. It was years ago when I said it, is that when a lady used to walk into a bar and sit down on her own, she would feel uncomfortable and all the guys would look at her thinking what she's doing on her own. Or even you, if you're a guy, like sitting down on your own in a bar. But now with the mobile phone, it's okay. It's acceptable. And hey, any woman can sit anywhere she wants with a mobile phone because she's got a friend in her hand. We've been duped. We've been hoodwinked. When you stop and you wake up to reality and you look around and you see every single person on a black screen, not enjoying the moment, not looking at Mother Nature, not being part of the environment, not feeling with your consciousness and your heart. You're just in a black screen. You are hypnotized. You are being hypnotized. You're being coerced by a black screen to pull you in, and you are not living in the moment. You are wasting your energy. You are giving your energy to the black screen. You are giving it information that feeds it constantly about how you feel, what you're thinking, and it's changing your frequency and vibration to start thinking that you need the black screen constantly. It sends out an energy to you. It's like a gunshot, just like the TV was. So when you sat in front of a TV at night, why did you always fall asleep? Because there's a frequency like a gun shooting at you, and it's making you dumb. It's dumbing you down. That was 50, 60 years ago. Imagine the technology of this black screen, what frequency it's sending out to your pineal gland, to your brain, to your thoughts and feelings. It's messing with us big style, and we have to learn to put the phone down and be stronger than the phone, because the phone has become the biggest addiction in this world. It is the most powerful addiction in this world, and it's got all of us, and we have to learn to fight back. And that's my message today. I wish you a splendid day. I'm going to head off now and have a beautiful walk for about 30-40 minutes, and then I'm going to go and get a cleansing at the yoga barn. That's another place that again is I can't even explain. It seems to be everywhere that used to be of a spiritual nature is no longer a spiritual nature. Everything just feels so so different. I don't want to say wrong, but so different. It just does not feel like it used to do. The world has changed. And those times where you felt the spirit, you felt the healers there, you felt the energy of healing, it, it's all gone. It just, you just can't find it anymore. You can't see it. You can't feel it anymore. And that is something that we have to be aware of. We have to be aware of. I noticed that when I was in Pyramids of Chi, the guy, the singing bowl therapist, I don't know why I felt this, but it felt like it was mundane to him. It felt like he was just repeating himself. It felt like there wasn't any real healing there. It was just words, but nothing was coming. Nothing felt like it was real and like when I used to give a healing session, it was because I wanted to make you feel amazing. And if you felt amazing, that was the only thing that was important to me. It felt, and I could be completely wrong, but it felt like this guy has to do it. It's his work, and you know, I've been doing it that long. It's like I've lost that what I used to have, that spark. But maybe it's lost because he knows what's happening in this world, what's happened to people. People are not the same. They just don't feel or connect like they used to do where he was from, Arizona, and the years that he was here, the 20 years that he was here. And I get that completely. I totally understand that. I get it wholeheartedly. People don't feel like they used to do. They're not as connected to that. I can't, you know, the one thing that, and this is an observation that many years ago I used to do shows, and those shows were like mind, body and spirit shows. And if I ever asked somebody to come and you know, take the money and look after the clients before and after, they would love working with me. Why? Because after a session, whether it was reading their past, present and future, whether it was giving them a healing session, I used to say, I remember Melanie was one of them. I used to say to Melanie, 30 minutes, and she'd laugh. And then the next client would come and I'd say, that's an hour. And then she'd laugh. And then I'd say, that's about 15 minutes. And what I was saying was that the client, after the healing session, forgot to pay. They just walked off because they were in a daze. It was a place where, like, they were trying to process what's just happened. And it's going to take some people a lot longer to get back to the reality. They call it ground. They get grounded again because they're so in this space which they've never felt before, or they might have not felt it for a while, and then they come back and say, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot to pay. And then Melanie would laugh and say, oh, you were pretty close there, it was like 8 minutes, you said 10. And oh yeah, it's an hour, well done, it was an hour. So I was getting practice to know when the client was going to come back after this. I could feel that something had occurred that was very special, and that when they're all over the place, they have to go and sit down and just spend time in themselves. And that was when there was hardly any phones. It was just them old Nokia phones, and you couldn't really do much with them, right? So that feeling that I used to go to when I went to, you know, experience shamans, or when I worked with them, I had got the same feeling. When I healed people, I saw that feeling in them. What I'm trying to say is that Pyramids of Chi last night, with all of those 50 people, I didn't see anybody that was in that space. It was just like, okay, what's next? Where we're going now? Oh, let's get into the shop and buy some stuff. Let's go and mess about with some drums. Let's shout at somebody on the phone. And that was just the observation. I'm not slagging anybody off. I'm just being honest. And I might even go back to Pyramid of Chi in a few weeks and try again, because hey, you know, it might have just been a one-off, you know. And if I get that feeling where, wow, that was an amazing healing, it took me like 20 minutes to even come around, right? Then I'll tell you. but I didn't get it, and I didn't see anybody else who got it. So it was just an observation. I am not attacking anybody at all, and I'm not upset. So it was just sharing my experience. That's all I wanted to do. And I think through these experiences, sharing them, they might trigger something within all of us to make more of an effort to try and work on ourselves, or to try and understand what's going on in the world. And I found it strange as well, where anyway, it was something about sharing the energy and sending it to the world. And I got that 20 years ago. I got that, and I could see that there was reason for that. But now I don't see that anymore, because I don't see people have the ability to, not even self-heal. So not even to be able to accept healing, and it works. So how on earth is somebody who can't accept it or even digest it be able to send it? I think that's gone now. That's why I really don't believe in, global healing. I just don't think it works, and I think it's been hijacked. And I've explained this to people many times. A circle only works when everybody is on the same energy frequency. If one person isn't, then that's like your weakest link, and you can't get that high frequency. Imagine asking the world to do global healing when people are so messed up, when they've been jabbed up, when they're in a bad place. They're not giving out healing. They're wanting to receive that healing, which means that it's not going anywhere other than within that circle till that one person is healed. I knew this because I used to do healing circles every week. I knew what I had to do. I knew when somebody was drunk. I knew when somebody was on drugs. And I used to say to them, I'm sorry, tonight is for giving absent healing. It isn't a healing night for you. So, I'm sorry, but you can't drink alcohol. I'm sorry, you can't be on drugs. Now, next week is about self-healing. Next week is about you. So if you come next week, please don't drink. But if you have to take, legalized drugs, poisons, then no problem. But next week, but not this week, because the healing that we're trying to do is about coming together as a collective of 50 people in the room and send that healing. It won't be sent if you're in that room. It will be given to you, which is a wonderful thing. But that's not this week. That's next week. And people would say, no, you're right, absolutely, understand, I'm sorry for being selfish. No, you're not selfish. In fact, I tell you what you're doing tomorrow at 5 o'clock, nothing. Come up to my healing room, and I'll give you a free healing session. It was never about ego. It was never about proving I'm right and I'm a healer. It's all bullshit. It's about doing the right thing. That's why I don't believe in global healing. You might say, well, the energy rises. I can only go with what I know. So for me, it shouldn't be called global healing, meaning you're healing the earth. It should be a healing session. It should be called a healing session. So everybody who comes onto that healing session is about healing everybody who's on that session. Then I understand now. But when you start talking about sending it out to the world and raising the frequency and vibration, I don't see it that way. That's probably why I'm hated by the spiritual community, because I just don't go along with what other people say just because they say it. I witness things as somebody who didn't believe in any of these things, and as I witnessed them through my work, I told it as it was. And because it didn't match what the spiritual community, the New Agers, were saying, I was ostracized, I was hated, mocked and ridiculed. Even to this day, healers say you can't put energy into crystals, so it's a fake, it's a fraud. This is what lots of healers believe. This is what they hate me because of it. And I'm like, you have no idea. My first client proved that to me. My first client showed me that crystals retain energy. And I make that story so clear. And it's like, well, I've had this argument, right? And because they argue with me, and I say, can you put love into water? Of course you can. Oh, so you know that to be true? Yeah, because we know that. Oh, you mean you've read it and people have told you? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so why can't you put love into a crystal? Because crystals have its own frequency. No, every single drop of water contains a crystal in it. And that's it. They hate me even more then, because I've just proven them absolutely wrong. No, it hasn't proven them wrong. It's proven that all they talk about is what they've been told to believe, instead of actually putting the time and effort into observing while working and understanding it. I never took a book and read somebody's work. I never listened to other shamans telling me how to open a third eye, or how to open your crown chakra. I have to work on it myself. I have to figure this out myself. Everybody's individual as a healer. We should figure out our own gift, not follow somebody and become a copy of somebody, which you'll never be. The perfect healer, because you're copying somebody else's work. You're limited to that work. And plus, I don't want to rip somebody's hair out of the head, where a lot of shamans will actually will grab your hair at the top of your head and pull and basically draw blood, which to me is fucking ludicrous. But that's how some shamans work. Some shaman will blow into your third eye, you know. And I work differently. I work completely different. So, you know, and like, but that's the way they work. I respect that, and that's fine. But it's not the way I work, and I won't go around promoting other people's work. I won't promote other people's books, because that's just regurgitating information. So you haven't a clue what you're talking about. Oh, you can't put energy into crystals. Where have you heard that from? Well, I read it in a book, or you know, other healers told me, or other people told me. Have you actually tried to do it? No, you haven't, have you? Because somebody's told you that you can't. So nobody ever told me anything when I started, because I was working on my own. I was doing it all on my own. So I had to experience. I had 3 books that I was writing everything in, of every healing session, what every client would tell me if they wanted to tell me. I didn't ever ask them. If they said something, when they'd gone, I'd sit down and write down what they told me. I wrote down every experience of clients. Like, there's one experience I can just give you now as an example. People who have had strokes, if you give a healing session and you're working on the head, you'll find that whatever pain that person had in that stroke moment will come back again. So if you're having a stroke and you're on the floor and your left leg shoots up in the air, you'll find that when you're healing that client, their left leg will shoot up in the air and they'll be petrified when it happens. But something about re-cleansing, re-clearing that moment happens, and that reaction happens, and it's a good thing. It's nothing to worry about. But I recognized all these things, and so to write it in a book and share that, but that's my experience. I'm not saying it's right for me, and it was my experience, but it might not be your experience. That's why I don't write about per se books and say this is how a crystal works. A crystal works differently for every single person. Sometimes there are energies in there with regards to the colours, with regards to frequency and energy, but ultimately I can stick one crystal in your hand and take that crystal out and put it into somebody else's hand, and it will have a different effect on you. And that's what I've always shared. The only time I write about crystals, I write maybe because I've worked on 100 people, and out of the 100 people there was a pattern that certain clients would feel healing for a certain aspect. Oh, that's come up a few times, so I will mention that. Most of my crystals on my website, the writing on that is channeled energy. So what I do is I spend anywhere between 10 and 50 hours on, say, 20 crystals now, and I will put energy into healing certain aspects of what you're going through. And then I will write it down as an example on the description. So I've worked with that crystal Meaning that what I've put into that crystal, just like you would put love and healing into a glass of water, I do the same thing with crystals. And then I write down what I put into that crystal in pure energy. And that's the difference between my crystals. Some people laugh, some people mock. Again, the reason why is because they've just been so indoctrined into the dogma of spirituality, and they've listened to a book or they've heard another healer saying that's bullshit. And this is how it is. It's spirituality is furthest from openness, furthest. I have been in so many industries and I've never known such close-minded people than the spiritual community. It's bloody heartbreaking and judgmental and opinionated. But you know, it just is what it is. And I want to say cheers to everybody. So, what have I done on markbayerski.com? Oh yeah, last night I did a special where children at the moment are struggling with school, struggling with other children because of AI technology. You're not the only one, no matter what age you are. Children are going through the same thing. And for those who are like you and me, come from the place of our spirit world, are fighting against some other spirits as children who are not from the same place, who are aggressive and angry, who want to cause pain and suffering to other children. I created dream catchers, and these dream catchers were predominantly for people suffering, bullying at school, bullying at kindergarten, bullying at work, bullying at home. And two of them, which is rose quartz, which brings a lot of calmness through the night and a lot more. And also the beautiful amethyst, which brings in a lot of connection and a lot of frequency to your higher self and to the spirit world, brings in a lot of great energy. But also I created a few years ago shungai, which also helps protect from bad frequencies of phones, of computers, of the constant digital AI Wi-Fi radiation soup. Just a few little pieces next to your bed on a dream catcher is enough. So what I did was I said, if you buy one dream catcher, you'll get the second one free. And the way you do that is when you go to checkout, just type in which other dream catcher you want. So you would say, you know, you've ordered, you'll click on rose quartz, so you'll buy rose quartz for 34, and then at the side of it there'll be a box, and it'll say, you know, anything that you'd like to request, and you type in, I would like an amethyst, or I would like a shungai, and we'll send you that off. That's free delivery as well. So that's my gift this month to you guys. I hope you appreciate that. And you can put two at the side if you're going through a lot of suffering. If your child's going through a lot of suffering, just one in one bedroom, and if you've got two children, another one in the other bedroom, or I'll just change them around every now and again, or put them next to each other at the side of at the back where you're sleeping. Just put them at the side and just hang them there, like I've got at my bed. So this is how these things do help. They do help tremendously. They really help tremendously. So, you know, and at the moment, pink petalite and pink opal are two of the crystals that I would suggest for children at the moment. It's strengthening their soul. It's strengthening them in so many ways. There's a lot of protection with that crystal. There's a lot going on with that crystal. Both of them are fantastic for that. So I suggest that you keep it, or even go to your local crystal store and try and find one there as well, even if it's a little tiny piece. Put it next to their bed, put it in their pocket at school, hang it around their neck at home, and even in bed as well. It will help. It will help. So yeah, I'm wishing you all a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Take care of yourselves. Lovely chat today, and yeah, take care. Love you all. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me.